George Floyd. George Floyd was a 46-year-old African American man. He wasn't really, he was an everyday guy. He wasn't famous. He wasn't rich. I don't think he had a job. I don't think he was married. He might have had a girlfriend, but he wasn't really somebody special. George Floyd was an African American man in Indianapolis, as far as I know. He was going to cash a check. He went to the store, a clerk store, to buy something. He gave somebody he gave the clerk a $20 bill, and I guess it was a fake $20 bill. I don't think he knew it was a fake bill, but he gave the clerk a $20 bill that was fake. The clerk called the cops. The cops came. The cops questioned George Floyd. They handcuffed him. He was in his car. They came. They handcuffed him. The white cop threw him on the ground. He put his knee on his neck for about 8 minutes. And George Floyd kept saying, "I can't breathe." He didn't try to fight the white cop. The white cop just got angry by, I guess he thought that the black guy was a threat to him because he had on like a shirtless, he had on a tank top, so and he was also tall too, George Floyd. And so I guess he thought of George Floyd as a threat. So he threw George Floyd on the ground, put his knee on his neck for about 8 minutes, which is illegal. And there were 3 other white guys who saw him too. They didn't try to help. There was a black person that was walking. They happened to see George Floyd in trouble on the ground, having the worst time of his life. And he took out his cell phone and he filmed George Floyd on the ground with the white guy with his knee on his neck, which is illegal. You cannot put your knee on somebody's neck because they can suffocate, they can pass out. That's illegal. I always felt that the black guy who had the camera and filmed George Floyd in trouble, he should at least try to stop it. Because he didn't want to help George Floyd because he would have got arrested, the guy who filmed it. Anyway, the white cop is in prison. He went to prison, and he's in jail right now. He's facing trial. And right now we have the virus is still out there. People, are catching the virus every day. And now, and it's all hell broke loose. This is like the worst year. 2020 is not a good year. He's in jail having the worst day of his life, the white cop. He regrets it now because, people are threatening his family. His family's getting hate mails. His family, George Floyd's family, is having the best time of their lives because he has a 6-year-old daughter. I think he has some other kids. I don't know nothing about his life or anything. I don't know much about the guy's life other than he's a black guy who got killed by a white guy, by accident. Also, we also find out that George Floyd had coronavirus. It was the autopsy showed that he had the virus, so that makes things worse. But he said, "I can't breathe." When somebody says "I can't breathe," you should probably try, not pursue it. But anyway. George Floyd family just won a $2 million lawsuit. His daughter got to meet Kanye West. Kanye West is sending out donations. Angelina Jolie from the Tomb Raider movies, she's giving donations to help out the family. Kanye West is going to help out George Floyd's daughter go to college in about 12, 13 years. She's only 6 years old. So they had George Floyd's funeral, all that. George Floyd was a tall black guy. He graduated, I think, 92, 93. He played football in high school. He was a very good professional football player in high school in 92. Wow, when they say 92, it doesn't seem like it's been that long. 1992 doesn't seem like it's been 27 years. It feels like it's been 5 years. It doesn't feel like it was that long ago. 1992. I remember the 1990s. It does not feel like it's been 27 years, 28 years since 1992. But he played football in high school. He was a very popular, outgoing person, and he lost his life over something stupid. And I think he didn't know that the $20 bill was fake. I think somebody maybe one of his friends gave him a fake bill just to play a joke on him. That actually ended up ruining his life. He also lost his life over it. But over the death of George Floyd, his family are now millionaires. They just won a lawsuit over this. It's too bad that George Floyd had to die. But the guy had his knee on his neck for 8 minutes. A grown man on another man's neck. And he was not some skinny white guy. He was a big, tough, muscular white guy. Mr. J here, peace.